I eat 0 grams of carbs every single day, and this is why. When you eat carbs, it fucks up your hormones, and you have 3 major hormones, and that's insulin, leptin, and ghrelin. So insulin is your fat storing hormone. This is the hormone that is going to spike up when you're eating carbs and sugar. And if you don't like exercise immediately after you ate these carbs, you're gonna actually storing fat inside of your body. That's what happens to most people. That's why most people are obese, is because they just keep on spiking their insulin so much. Next hormone is leptin, and leptin is your satiety hormone. This is the hormone that basically tells you that you're full, we can stop eating, we're good. Insulin blocks your leptin, so you're way more likely to overeat, and most people end up overeating. So this is the fucked thing about like carbs. It's a new thing. Like for most of the time we have existed as humans, carbs have really not been around, at least in the quantity that they are today now. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone, and it's going to rise up during like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But the normal times that you eat, you're going to be more hungry during those times. But the thing with ghrelin is that you don't have to listen to it. You can literally just like ignore it, and your hunger hormone will go back down, and you'll be fine basically. The next reason is because carbs are a major cause of brain fog, and I've struggled with brain fog my entire life. It's held me back from so many things, from producing good work, from being present with others, from just cloudy thoughts and stuff, and it's just not a good way to experience life, and life can be so much better. Speaking from first-hand experience, I feel 20 times better than I did before. Like honestly, just in my own body, I feel 20 times better. My mind works so much better. It's so amazing. Science of why this is the case, and it's basically because high carb foods have something called a high glycemic load, and high glycemic load foods are going to spike your insulin, and that's going to lower your blood sugar levels. So this can cause like moodiness, exhaustion, brain fog. So basically just cut the carbs and your brain is going to be sharp 24/7. It's the best benefit in my opinion. There's way more we're going to cover today that are also insane, but this one is, the ROI on this is so good. Reason 3 is because when you eat 0 carbs, you're going to stay lean for the rest of your life. So speaking from first-hand experience, I was 185, almost 190 pounds, and I was pretty lean. Like I thought I was lean, but I got onto this diet. I was eating like 3,500 calories a day. Like right now I'm eating 16 eggs a day, 2 to 3 pounds of meat, and I just shredded 20 pounds. I literally shredded 20 pounds. And yes, I lost some strength just because of the weight loss. You lose some weight, moves weight, so I lost some strength. But in terms of muscle density and muscle size, I look literally exactly the same. My body moves better. I feel so much more athletic. So like just that weight, it's a good goal. Like I'm still going for 200 pounds. That's still my goal. I'm just basically going to be bulking for a long time to get to that goal. But I'm gonna feel like an athlete the entire time I'm getting there. So we need to cover why calories in, calories out is a scam. So what matters more than how much you eat, it's what you're eating that really matters, because a low carb foods like meat and eggs don't spike your insulin, and like pasta, grains, these foods are gonna spike the fuck out of your insulin, and you're gonna store in fat. So like take a look at most guys who bulk in the gym, they're high carb. They spike up their insulin with their high carb diets, and they just look, they look puffy and fat by the time they're at that weight goal. And then when they cut down, you get to see how much muscle they really put on, which it wasn't that much. So if you want to gain lean muscle the entire time, if you want to look good all the time, then you don't want to be spiking your insulin. You want to be eating low carb or carnivore. Reason 4 is you're going to double or triple your testosterone. And something we need to talk about is cholesterol. So cholesterol is going to go up on this diet, and that's a good thing. And this is because cholesterol is a major building block of testosterone. The misunderstanding that cholesterol has is that when you consume carbs, cholesterol goes up in the body to basically fight against sugar through the inflammation that it causes. So it's like you're blaming the firemen as if they were the ones who caused the fire, but the real cause of the fire was the carbs and the sugar, not the cholesterol. So where did this misunderstanding of cholesterol come from? Well, it came from this guy named Ansel Keys, and in 1953, he launched something called lipid hypothesis. And this said that saturated fat is going to raise your cholesterol levels higher, and saturated fat raises your cholesterol levels, and high cholesterol is going to lead to heart disease. He said this over and over again that people just believed him, but it's never been proven right. Never has been proven right. From there on, from 1965 and over, the U.S. just sugar industry manipulated studies. They funded these studies to come to their own conclusions that promoted saturated fat is bad and that sugar is healthy. And like, you've seen this, you can go to the store and buy low fat food's everywhere. But okay, so what do we replace the fat with then, now that there's no fat? Well, it's sugar. Low fat foods have a fuck ton of sugar, and this is why America is so sick, bro. This is why America is so sick. It's crazy. It's a fact. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the fucking world. Cutting animal fats doesn't work. Low fat food doesn't work. Staying drugs don't even work, bro. Like, none of this shit works. The reason is you limit yourself from unlimited energy. The science behind it is that you have over 100,000 calories of energy in your fat stores that you cannot access when you're eating carbs. So imagine this. Imagine the analogy of like a tanker truck. And this tanker truck has this big 20,000 gallon tank attached to it in the back. And it has these little 50-gallon tanks that are surround it. But when you eat carbs, this is you running on like your glucose. So you are only hooked up to these little tanks. Like, you have about 3,000 calories of energy stored in those tanks. So once you run out of energy, you literally, like, you have to keep eating to get energy. And it's so ironic because you have this unlimited energy inside of your body that you can't access because you're just eating fucking carbs. And that's why you have carb crashes. That's why you feel lethargic and shit all the time. I don't feel lethargic anymore. I have energy the entire time. My entire day I'm energized. So like, you know, when you're on carbs, you have to continuously keep eating to feel energized. Let's understand also what let's understand what ketosis is going to do for you in terms of energy. So, do you remember the only useful thing school taught you was the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, right? Well, your body running on ketosis enhances mitochondrial function by promoting fat as the energy source, and ketosis increases the number of mitochondria in your body by up to 25 times more. 25 times. That's insane. Like, just think about that for a second. And these mitochondria are going to work better with less effort. So basically, a mitochondria in ketosis works better than 5 to 10 in a carbs inclusive diet. And now you have up to 25 times that. So you're going to be so much of a better athlete in every terms. There's no difference between carbs energy and ketosis energy. There's no fucking difference. Like, you might think that like, oh, well, carbs is like better for like high performance, like quick energy, but it's not. It's exactly the same. They've done studies on this, and like they've compared sprinting athletes, like 400 or 500 meter sprints, and they kept on doing these sprints, and the fat adapted athletes performed better than them, and they performed better for much longer than them. Now, the fifth reason is you're going to rid your body of all of the toxins that exist from all the shit you've been eating. So at carnivore, when you eat meat and eggs, it's going to have all the nutrients you need, and you won't need anything else, basically. So you don't need plants, you don't need fruits, you don't need vitamin C, you don't need fiber. And let's talk about fiber first. So fiber it cannot be absorbed by the body, and your heart and intestines work extremely hard to break it down, and this leads basically to a higher chance of getting heart failure, and it leads to an overworked intestine. So because it can't get absorbed, it means your body didn't want it. Like, if you were supposed to absorb the nutrients that we're eating from our food, and if we're just pooping it out, we're not getting the nutrients, you know. So fiber isn't necessary for digestion at all. At best, fiber is just going to mitigate the absorption of sugar. When fruits have fiber in them, they're healthier for you than a donut because the donut doesn't have fiber. So the sugar is just going to flood your system, and in terms when you eat a fruit, it's going to be a slower injection basically of sugar. So what about vitamin C? Well, vitamin C can't be produced in the body, so we're supposed to get it from plants, right? Well, you need vitamin C because you're just eating a fuck ton of carbs basically, and carbs are the first priority of absorption when they enter the body, and your insulin spikes. So that means you need more vitamin C to compensate for that shit that's in your body. And when you don't eat carbs, your body produces something called endogenous antioxidants that have the exact same function as vitamin C. In the end, you don't need vitamin C. You get enough, your body will produce its own form of vitamin C when you aren't eating any carbs. And for fruits, it doesn't matter. Yes, a banana is healthier than a donut, but that's only because a donut has multiple ingredients in it. A fruit is just like a banana has one ingredient. So all the other ingredients in that donut are going to harm you. Now, a fruit still has banana, still has roughly, I think, 15 grams of sugar in like a medium-sized banana. And it has a couple grams of fiber in it, so the banana, yes, it's going to be healthier than the donut, but sugar is still sugar. Sugar is identified in your body exactly the same. It doesn't matter what kind of fucking sugar it is. There's a lot of different kinds of sugar. Your body is still going to process it and deal with it in the exact same way. And sugar is like literally deadly. Sugar is basically poison. You're poisoning yourself when you eat sugar. Fourth reason is that ketosis is our natural metabolic state for humans and most of the animals in the wild. Like most animals like lions, gorillas, wolves, cows, like these guys are literally all in ketosis. And you might think, well, wait, gorillas eat fibrous plants, like the gorillas eat carbs, right? Well, they're not in ketosis. Well, the thing is that the science is they don't break the fiber down. The bacteria in their gut ferments this fiber, and as a byproduct, excretes fat. Our bodies are adapted for meat, and are adapted for meat. Gorillas are adapted for fibrous plants. I just wanted to list some pro athletes to kind of, if you're still on the fence about it. So the first one I'll mention is Ryan Talbot, and this guy won the Big Ten Conference Decathlon with a Michigan State University school record. Next guy was Alex McDonald, and this guy was legitimately not a runner, and he ran 5 marathons in 5 days, completely fasted. It's just a show of how much untapped energy that you have. The next guy is Erling Haaland, and this is the soccer player from Manchester City FC who won the title of the best striker in Europe when he went on carnivore. Todd Baker, and this guy is, I think he's 57, and this dude he's also a doctor. He's a high advocate of this diet. He treats his patients with this diet, and he holds the world record for rowing in his age group. Special mention now is Sergey Nubret, and this was Arnold's idol. This guy was fucking massive. This dude ate 6 pounds of horse meat every single day. So the last thing for you is your action steps. So what you basically need to do is eat fatty meat, water, and eggs until they stop tasting good. And that's really important. Some people recommend, like Dr. Anthony Shafee recommends, 2 big meals a day and eat until the meat tastes like cardboard, basically. But what I do is, like, I'll do those 2 big meals, but I'll have eggs in the morning and before bed. Just, it seems like it's working better for me right now. And you want to eat whenever you're hungry. Whenever you feel hungry, you want to eat. Like, especially right now, like, if you're trying to put on muscle like me, then you want to be eating whenever you get hungry. And the way I got onto this diet was it took me about a week to fully get off of the carbs, but then after a certain point, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I'm going full eggs and meat. And the first week was really good, but then the week after that, I got into something called keto flu, and I had migraines and stuff, and I was low energy and stuff. But it's very normal. It's very normal for this to happen. The good thing is that it goes away really fucking quick. Like, it went away for me in a couple days, and you might think that, like, oh, well, my energy doesn't feel so good right now. I felt better on carbs. The thing is that your body needs to adapt to ketosis. So just give it some time. Give it about, I would say, a month and a half, and then once you reach that point, I promise you're never going to look back, because your energy it's going to literally keep getting better every single day. Like, I see improvements in my health in some ways just every single day, whether that's with my sleep, whether that's with my athletic performance, whether that's with my brain performance, just whatever. Like, my body is still healing from all the shit I have been eating before, and it's still getting better and better and better. And this diet alone will change your life so much, bro. If you can lock in on your diet, it's going to change so much for you, man. And I really want that for you. So I wish you the best of luck, man. And thank you for watching this.